Welcome back to First and Gold. I'm your host, Sam Gold, and today we are going to be ranking every AFC division by position groups. So, as you can see here, we are going to be ranking them all based on quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, offensive line, and then defense. And shout out to Wyatt's World on YouTube, one of the best content creators out there in the football community. We got inspiration for this idea, so thank you, Wyatt's World. But I'm excited to take my own task on this and see what I have here in store. So, guys, comment down below what you think I got wrong at the end of this video, because it's probably gonna be a lot of controversy, because that's what always happens on these subjective tier list videos. But here we go. Let's start with the AFC East quarterbacks. Now, I feel like this one is actually pretty clear-cut, straightforward. Gotta go Bills 1, Josh Allen. Dolphins 2 with Tua for sure. I'm going to say I have more hope right now with Drake May at 3 and then Justin Fields at 4 with the Jets. As we move on to running back, the best running back room is got to be... Ooh, this one's really tough. I like Devon Achane the best. I'm going to go Dolphins 1, Bills 2, Breece Hall and the Jets at 3. And then the Patriots running back room, even though I have nothing against it, I think Ramondre and Travion Henderson probably don't beat out any of the close to elite running backs, kind of like Breece Hall or James Cook or Devon Achane. So yeah, that's what I would definitely do for running backs. Wide receiver rooms. This one gets really interesting. Now, I think Dolphins still definitely have that with Tyreek and Jalen Waddle paired up together for sure. Now, the other three teams in this division don't really have that solid of wide receiver rooms. Now, Garrett Wilson's probably the best receiver left, but in terms of depth, I don't think so at all. So I'm actually going to go with Buffalo, number 2. And then I will go the Jets, number 3, and then the Patriots, number 4. Even though I like what they're doing in New England with Stephon Diggs, I think that they will be better this year. I like Kyle Williams, their second-round pick as well. But yeah, I got to go Dolphins, then Bills, then Jets, then Patriots. All right, tight ends. Ooh, this one's also very interesting. I mean, I kind of want to give Jonnu Smith the respect he deserves after last season, but I feel like that's kind of an outlier. So I am actually going to put the Bills in first, because the duo of Kincaid and Dawson Knox, I think, slightly beats out Jonnu Smith and whatever the hell else they got there in Miami. Ooh, Patriot. Yeah, I will go Patriots third, because I like Hunter Henry. And then the Jets fourth. Thought maybe they were going to go out and pick Tyler Warren, but they did get a tight end in the second round who I really like, Mason Taylor. But he's a rookie, so we don't really know yet. So yeah, Bills, then Dolphins, then Patriots, then Jets at tight end. Offensive line, got to go Bills as well at the top. Probably top 3 offensive line in the league last year. Didn't change much there. So yeah, I'm going to go number 1 for the Bills. I'm actually going to go with the Jets, number 2. I love that they picked Membao. Even though it's not sexy, they played it safe in the draft this year. Got their tackle. Love it. I'm going to go with the Patriots in third place, and then the Dolphins in last. I do not like what the Dolphins are doing at their offensive line position. So, yeah, Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins. And then finally, we're going to go with defense. Oh, this one's really, really tough. I think I got to go. I will still go the Bills, even though their secondary was not very good last year. I think the Bills still have a good enough defense compared to these 3 teams where I got to put them at the top. I am going to put the Jets at second and the Patriots at third, and then the Dolphins at fourth, especially with Jalen Ramsey most likely leaving the Dolphins. I just don't see there being any improvement with the Dolphins defense, which definitely struggled last year. All right, there you go. That's the AFC East. Now time for the AFC North. All right, starting with quarterbacks, I will put Lamar right above Joe Burrow, even though it's extremely close, but it's got to be Ravens and Bengals. Then I will give Aaron Rodgers his respect in third place. And then I will go with the Browns, because who the fuck knows what's going on in their quarterback situation this year, and they have to be in last. So there you go. Now moving on to running backs. I am going to go with Derrick Henry for sure. I also love Justice Hill. What a great gadget guy and a pass catcher as a running back. Definitely one of the better players in the NFL as your backup running back. Number 2, I will also go the Bengals. Chase Brown, probably one of the most underrated starting running backs in the NFL. Still have Zach Moss. They drafted a guy. Quinshawn Junkins or Caleb Williams / Jalen Warren. I think, or sorry, not Caleb Williams, Caleb Johnson. I think I'm still going to go the Steelers in third, and then the Browns in fourth as well. Sorry, Browns fans. It's not going to be a great tier list for you guys. Wide receivers, this one's easy. Bengals in first place. I mean, it's Chase and Higgins. How can you really beat that at this point? But now it's where it gets interesting because, I mean, the Browns have Judy and Tillman. That's fine. I mean, the Steelers got rid of Pickens, but they did add Metcalf, which I like. And then the Ravens have, what, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. They're all kind of the same to me. I think I'll give DK Metcalf the respect, put the Steelers in second. Then I'll put the Ravens in third. And then, once again, I'm going Browns fourth place. Yeah, sorry, Browns fans. This is just bad. All right, tight ends. I'm still giving Mark Andrews his respect, even though, obviously, he didn't have a great season last year, including the ending, which I'm sure Ravens fans don't want to hear about.
Flip it. Got it. Oh, the ball was dropped. He had the two-point conversion in his hands. Andrews did not hold on.
I actually want to go with the Browns second. I think David Njoku, when healthy, can be a top 10 tight end 100%. Do I like Gesicki or Pat Freiermuth more? That's the question. I'm actually going to go with the Steelers because I also like Darnell Washington as a blocker. And then right behind, even though I do like Gesicki, I will go Bengals in last for tight ends. Offensive line. I will pick the Ravens as first for offensive line. Then I will go with the Browns actually have a decent offensive line. I'm going to go with the Browns in second. Then the Steelers, and then the Bengals, which, yes, they did slightly improve their offensive line this year, but that's been probably one of their most major issues of the last 5 years. So Bengals fans, maybe it can improve this year, but yeah, I'm going last place. All right, and then finally, defense. Ravens first, Steelers second. I feel like that's the perfect top two right there. Maybe even interchangeable, but I got to give the Ravens their respect, especially for adding Malachi Starks this offseason. Just how do they keep getting away with this? And got to go with the Browns third because we all know the Bengals defense, especially with their Shamar Stewart issue right now in the holdout. I don't know if their defense, honestly, is going to be much better than last year, which raises a major red flag for the Bengals. So, yeah, I'm going to go Ravens, then Steelers, then Browns, then Bengals. All right, here we go. AFC South. I will put C.J. Stroud and the Texans at the top, followed by Trevor Lawrence. Oh, God. You know what? I think Cam Ward's going to have a better career than whoever the hell else is going out there for the Colts, whether it's Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. So, yes, even though Cam Ward has literally not played a snap in the NFL, I'm still putting him above the Colts. Sorry, Colts fans, but there's your quarterbacks. Running backs, I'm going to go with I think the overall running back room for the Texans might have to overtake Jonathan Taylor and the Colts because they just added Nick Chubb, which if that guy's 50% better than he was last year, he's already back to being probably the best backup running back in the NFL. So, yeah, I'm going Texans first. Then Jonathan Taylor, you have to respect it. One of the best running backs in the NFL. Oh, gosh, Jags or Titans? It's like Tony Pollard versus ETN and Bigsby. I mean, you have your choice there. I'll go Jags above it just because I really like Tank Bigsby. Although Tony Pollard's underrated. I think pretty interchangeable there, but Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans for running backs. All right, wide receiver room. Now, the Jags made a major upgrade this offseason, but I'm still going to go Texans because they got Collins. They just drafted 2 guys as well. They picked up Christian Kirk. I think overall, depth-wise, best wide receiver room in the AFC South. Then, yeah, I'll go with the Jaguars with Travis Hunter and Brian Thomas Jr. as a duo. I have high hopes for them. So, yeah, I'm going to go second there with the Jags. Colts, actually pretty underrated. I think Josh Downs, one of the best slept-on wide receivers in the NFL. I think Pittman is pretty much just going down with the ship of there not being a good quarterback. So, overall, I think not as bad as you think. Then the Titans I will put in last. What have they got? Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett. It's fine. Tight ends. Ooh, looking at this list, not the best tight end division. I will go with the Texans and Dalton Schultz at first, followed by the Colts just because I think Tyler Warren's going to be really good, and I love Mo Alley Cox just because of how Spiro Ditas says his name every single Sunday. But that's for another video. Anyways, who do the Jaguars even have? Brenton Strange? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. You know what? Quick cut on the video because I also have to figure out who the Titans have as their tight end. Okay, it's Chigakonkwo. All right, I will put Brenton Strange over Chigakonkwo for the Titans. Both tight end rooms are bad, but yeah, Texans, Colts, Jags, Titans. Offensive line. Now, the Colts used to have a really good offensive line, but it's gotten worse the last couple seasons. However, this whole division, I'm not really feeling it when it comes to offensive line. So maybe I will still put the Colts. AFC South, guys, I don't do tons of research on the AFC South. Let me know what I'm missing here, because I'm having a tough time thinking of a lot of linemen on this team. I know the Jags try to make a few moves. So, oh God, maybe I'll put the Jags in second, then the Texans third, then the Titans fourth. I feel like maybe that's fair. I know the Texans still are struggling. They got rid of Tunsil. That's why maybe I'm putting them behind the Jags. But comment down below. I'm not a big AFC South offensive line guy, to say the least. But there you go. Defense, Texans first, Colts second, Titans third, Jags fourth, although Travis Hunter might bump that up, so maybe you could switch Titans, Jags. But I think Texans, Colts is your top two. Makes a lot of sense. And there you go. There's the AFC South as we go to our last division, which of course is the AFC West. All right, starting with quarterback. This one feels so easy. I'm going Chiefs first with Mahomes, then Herbert with the Chargers, then Bo Nix with the Broncos. Actually, yeah, Bo Nix and Geno Smith, that's close. But in terms of projection, I'm definitely going to say Bo Nix is going to end up having a better career than Geno Smith, even though I like Geno Smith and he's solid and he's bringing good stability to the Raiders. But there's your order for quarterbacks. As we move on to the running backs, I'm actually going to go ahead and put the Raiders in first. It's funny because the Raiders probably had the worst running back room in the entire NFL last season, but just adding Ashton Genty alone is going to boost you up, at least in this division, to number one. So I'll put him at number one. Then I'm going to go Chargers 2. Because I like Hampton as a prospect, and then having Najee Harris, people love to hate on Najee, but he has averaged over 1,000 yards his entire career. Having him in the Jim Harbaugh system as a big, tough runner, as a backup, I think that's pretty solid depth. People can even argue maybe the Chargers number 1. I'll put the Broncos at 3, because I just think at this point, the hype of RJ Harvey mixed with if J.K. Dobbins can stay healthy is still better than what the Chiefs have. It pains me to say it as a Chiefs fan. Unless Pacheco can return back to his 2023 ways, I just don't see a way where our running back room isn't bottom 10, maybe even bottom 5 in the NFL again this year. And it sucks to say because we have depth. We just don't have anybody that can really take over a game. Oh man, this one's really tough. I think I'm going to actually put, this might be a little biased, I think I'm going to put the Chiefs in first right now for wide receiver. If everybody's healthy, the depth that we have, now we don't have a number 1 superstar just yet, even though I do think rather Rice or Worthy could become that one day. But the fact that we do have Rice and Worthy and Hollywood Brown, hopefully healthy, Juju, Nico Remigio, we just drafted Jalen Royals, who for me was a 2nd round projection. He went in the 4th round us, so that's pretty much a steal. I think overall the Chiefs have the best depth. Now, I'll go Chargers second because Ladd McConkey, that guy's going to become a top, maybe even top 10 wide receiver by the end of the season. He's already super underrated, and I love him. Also, Quentin Johnson doesn't get, he got a lot of hate, but I think last year he definitely improved. Plus, they drafted Trey Harris. I like that. I'll go Broncos third just because Cortland Sutton is better than Jacoby Myers, even though I think both of these wide receiver rooms don't have a lot of depth. Now, the Raiders did draft Jack Betch, which I like. Overall, I think that's your fair order for AFC West wide receivers. As we move to tight end, got to put the Raiders in first with Brock Bowers. It pains me to say it, especially with my rival team, knowing that the Raiders now have a better tight end than the Chiefs do. Travis Kelce's getting older. But I will put the Chiefs in second. Travis Kelce, also mixed with Noah Gray. I think Noah Gray, not to mention one of the more underrated backup tight ends in the NFL. I guess I'll put Evan Ingram in the Broncos in third. That seems fair. And then I'll put the Chargers in last. What do they have? Will Dissly and Tyler Conklin. I mean, it's fine, but it's definitely last place worthy. All right. Offensive line. Chargers. Ooh, no. Broncos first. Definitely one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, for sure. So many names on there that nobody ever talks about, like Quinn Miners, like just one of the best offensive linemen in the entire NFL. Nobody ever cares, but as a person who roots for a team that's to play them twice a year, no, that offensive line is no joke. Along with the Chargers, they got Becton, Slater, Joe Alt. So just those 3 alone have to put them. I mean, if the Broncos weren't in the division, the Chargers are right up there for one of the best in the NFL. I'll go Chiefs third, even though we lost Joe Tooney. We still have the best center in the NFL. Trey Smith's great. I think that if Josh Simmons can be healthy, he might become an anchor for this team. Then I'll put the Raiders in last. Nothing against the Raiders, but just not one of the best offensive lines. All right. Finally, defense. Got to put Broncos 1. Arguably the best defense in the entire NFL last year. Pat Surtain, their starting quarterback, 1 defensive player of the year. Super underrated defensive line as well. I like Zach Allen. I think he made a Pro Bowl this year. Maybe even second team All-Pro. But anyways, second is going to be the Chiefs. They've been a top 5 defense in points against the last 2 seasons. Not much has changed with their defense other than Justin Reed leaving, but I think that we had a good enough draft where we're going to have overall, once again, a top 10 to top 5 defense. I'll go Chargers third and then Raiders last. That's really the Raiders' weakness. If people are thinking the Raiders are a sneaky team this year, the one thing that's definitely going to hold them back is the defense. So overall, there you go, guys. That is our AFC rankings, division by positions, and we will be back next week with our NFC position rankings as well. So comment down below how you think I did there, what I got wrong, because I'm sure there's some of it. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed the video, once again, click a like, subscribe to the channel. We're trying to hit 900 subscribers, hopefully very soon with the help of you guys. But thank you so much for watching. We'll be back for another video. Goodbye.